Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Apple has announced Apple Vision. It's VR, AR, spatial computing, whatever you want to call it, headset. And it's gotten a lot of buzz, and deservedly so, this week. It's not going to be out until next year. But one of the things I thought was really interesting about this announcement was what Apple didn't say. They didn't say virtual reality. So that's what I want to talk about today, and the way to think about this product and the framing for VR and the metaverse in the future. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content, and check out my newsletter, Asymmetric Investing, in the show notes. There's a link there, and I'm covering high potential companies. There was a lot of talk during Apple's presentation about what the Vision Pro headset is going to be, how we're going to use it, how the finger interactions work, all those kinds of things. But what I think wasn't really covered in the presentation has really only come out as reviews have come out over the next couple of days, is that this is really a VR headset. This is not an augmented reality headset, which is the way that Tim Cook originally framed it when he made that first announcement. And on the goggles where you can kind of see people's eyes, what you may not realize is that's not actually people's eyes. That's not a pass-through lens. That's actually a projection of what the headset is seeing from people's eyes. So it's basically like an outer facing screen. Another one of the reasons that this headset is going to be $3,500. When you're in the headset as a user, it's actually a virtual environment. Everything you see is digital and is created by the headset and the operating system. What it's doing is it's using the outward facing cameras to take the digital and optical images and then displays that again in the headset. So this is something that Meta has done with what they call a pass-through on their virtual reality headsets. If you go outside of your VR boundary area, you can actually see the outside world. And that's just taking images from the cameras that are on the headset and displaying that on the screens that you're actually seeing inside the headset. Apple really takes that to the next level and kind of makes it invisible. Everything that we've heard from a review standpoint is that it's almost as if you're actually looking through the headset and seeing the real world and just having these digital images placed on top of it. But that's not actually the case. Everything that you see is digital. But I thought it was very interesting that despite the fact that this is a virtual reality headset, Apple is not framing it that way. They talked about augmented reality, they talked about spatial computing, but they did not talk specifically about virtual reality. And obviously that was very intentional, because Apple doesn't want to get brought into any sort of connotations that come along with virtual reality, whether that's the metaverse or gaming or preconceived notions that people have about VR today. They want to create an entirely new space, and that's what they've done with this headset. You'll also notice that it's not coming with controllers. Controllers really were a relic of the gaming industry and made their way to virtual reality headsets because it was an easy way for the headset or the tracking system to track where people's hands were. But this is going to be more of a productivity or business use kind of device, not a gaming device. And so that's, I think, one of the reasons that Apple didn't want to have controllers. They're not even making third-party controllers. So it's really framing this as, this is not a gaming device. It's not for the metaverse. This is a work tool that we want new applications for, and to have kind of a different use case than what VR is used for today. So I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, but I do think this is fascinating in the announcement that this is actually a VR headset. It is not an AR headset. It's not pass-through. It's not doing something like the HoloLens was. It is full virtual reality, but Apple did not say those words from what I could see in the presentation. Their announcement did not mention virtual reality. So they're obviously moving in a different direction. We will see if the words spatial computing really start to catch on. But Apple now moving into the VR headset game and maybe changing the name along the way. Well, what do you think about the headset and Apple not calling it a VR headset? Love to hear your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.